Final Fantasy 16 had me lost so many fucking times.
Anytime anything about the war would pop up, I'd be like, I'm lost. I don't know the name of these places.
I was like, hey, can you get the young lady with the map?
Where's Vivian? I need you now.
I love you, bitch.
I need that map.
I'm the map.
I loved that game all the way up until Hugo Cupcook. When you fought him, it was still cool. Even afterwards, it was a little extra, but that shit slowed down so much. They was like, hey, bro, go over there, get that paperclip. We about to make a boat. And then I was like, okay, it's gonna be real quick. Nah, you went to places.
In the beginning, the pacing of the game and everything felt good all the way up until after the fight with Titan. Actually, around there, when you went to the desert area, I forget the name of it because I'm bad with names. The stuff associated, even with the main quest there, started to slow down the pacing of the game. At that point, I stopped doing side quests because those side quests eventually become fetch quests. When you start your side quests at the start of the game with them explaining more of the story, and then eventually it just becomes, hey, run this errand for me because I don't feel like doing it. It really slows down the pacing and the motivation to want to do any of it. I will give people, hey, you know you don't have to do side quests, fine, but eventually the main line quests become fetch quests. That's boring. Like, you start the game with so much good content happening, and then you get in the middle and all of that comes to a screeching halt. Mid comes around, it's like,
she was real mid.
Hey, I need all of this stuff, and you have to travel to all these different areas to get me this stuff. And eventually that becomes the main quest, period. You go do something major, have an amazing boss fight, and then when you come back, it's fetch quests.
Just this very morn, I found him with his nose buried in my nuts.
FBI? Him. Come on, dude! There he is! Yeah!
Those boss fights in that game were phenomenal.
I'm gonna be real, that last boss battle, I was hyped. It actually was difficult because I was killing everything easily.
You can tell when an enemy is about to attack.
Yeah,
and
it was
makes
obvious.
It so easy to dodge that the fights aren't even hard. Your party members, they are actually useful. They don't just stand around and are just there to take damage when you don't. They actually do shit.
Horrible? That was that nigga, bro.
For how long that game is, that combat should have been different, because when you look at a game like Devil May Cry, that game draws a lot of inspiration from. Devil May Cry games don't last more than about 12 hours, so it never overstays its welcome with this combat. This game, if you're doing all the side quests and stuff, you're pushing almost 100 hours. It becomes tedious after a while, and then I don't want to play anymore. How did you feel about the story?
I give it a 7.5.
Yeah, I'm about in that range. Almost entirely through the whole game, I was predicting the story.
Call me now for your free tarot reading.
If they had waited to reveal Joshua, that would have been a lot more impactful. I wish they had revealed him at the point where Sid died. He shows up and then he pulls the hood off. Clive sees him as he's like halfway in and out of consciousness. And then they should have revealed that he was still alive towards the end of the game.
I was okay with how they did it because I did not feel like Joshua was dead. When shows or games just show a character like fall off a cliff or something, I don't think that you're dead. So when he was just like whooping his own brother's ass, bro. He ripped that nigga wings off. I was like, bro, he beating the shit out of him, bro. And they never showed his death. I was just like, yo, Joshua's still alive. And then when you seen the hooded person, that was my first thought. The story was good and I was cool with it. I cried at the end, I ain't gonna even lie. Mainly because, you know, if you've lost somebody you gave a fuck about recently, nah, that shit hurt. I was like, don't knight the nigga, don't knight the nigga, he knighted him. I was hurt, oh nigga, I was hurt. And then he had the flame on the night. That nigga said, use a real nigga. On flames. I was like, oh my God, fire makes everything better. They made you feel Joshua dying. They made you feel that
Clive
shit.
was like, Joshua!
The voice acting was crazy good on this game. And then when you ran off, Jill sounded hurt. Soon as she ran off, she was like, Clive.
Yeah, I knew in that moment.
Yeah, Clive was gone.
I was like, all these niggas about to die. You saying goodbye to everybody there. I was like, yeah, these niggas ain't coming back.
Bruh. And Joshua always had a mouthful of blood, bruh.
He was dead from the time the game started. When you first met him and he introduced himself with a cough, it was over.
He said, my name is Joshua. My heart dropped when Jill was looking at the moon and then that red star just faded out. I was like, oh! I was hurt. I was like, he's gone. She ran off all white girlish. I was like, I know, I'm with you on that one. I was like, bruh, you a full grown man, bruh. You lucky nobody can see this.